Hey everybody, welcome to Breakfast with Bob from the Challenge Championship. We are brought to you by Master Spa's Hyperice Form Smart Swim Goggles, UCAN, HOKA One Class USA, and of course our Challenge Athletes Foundation. One of the young men who is never afraid to go to the front, and something I really respect, Magnus Ditlev, joins us. Magnus, how are you?
Fine, thank you, and thank you for having me, Bob.
Magnus,
it's always good to talk to you.
I love the way you race. I love the fact that you're never afraid to go for it. And watching you at, was it Miami? Was it?
Yeah, Miami and St George, yeah.
Yeah, in St George you got third.
Yeah, I did.
Now, the great thing about going off the front is you never know, right? You have that day where everything goes right and you can win off the front.
Yeah, I think some people might think it's a little stupid decision to just hammer the bike, but I don't see it that way. I think I'm often riding pretty conservatively.
Right. You don't look like you're...
No, I'm not like pushing just to enter T2 first.
Right.
And then I'm also very young, so I think that someday when my run comes along...
and your running is getting... And the fact that you held on to third, it's not like it was a weak field at St. George. You had a lot of guys there.
Yeah, so I think my running is constantly improving at the moment, so I'm just... waiting to see when I really got it, and then
But the deal is, if you're not there, you're not at the front, then you're not. We always see, especially in Kona, a lot of the same people who get off the bike in 20th and run their way to 8th. Yeah. Right? They're never going to win the race.
No, I mean it's also pretty cool. I mean, I'm always there. I can be.
You're always there.
I know I can bridge even if I have a bad swim. I will probably be able to bridge the gap to the front, so I know that I will be able to play a part in almost every race I participate in. So yeah.
And this year you 7th at the 70.3 Elsinore, 11th at St. Polten, 6th Challenge Miami, and in Challenge Miami you got the race for Daytona.
Yeah, I had really been looking forward to Miami when they announced that Frodeno was coming. It was such a motivation for me. And I had a swim. I think I was 90 seconds back to Frodeno, and Casper, my friend, he told that the 90 seconds. I knew it would be hard to bridge the gap, but actually I caught him pretty early.
Yes, you did.
And, I stayed behind him for a while to try to learn from him.
Maybe watch his style a little bit.
Just watch him move and such.
You learn a lot from that.
And the corners, I mean, just looking at how smooth he is, it was such an amazing experience. And then I saw Starkey was a little up the road, and I knew that if I should have any chance to maybe beat him, I had to attack him.
Right.
So that I did with maybe 10 kilometers to go. I got a little gap into T2, but then I had some stomach problems on the run, so I ran probably one of my worst races. I almost considered dropping out because I was just I've never had such stomach cramps before.
What do you think that's wrong?
I don't, maybe like a nutritional issue, because afterwards we figured, my coach and I, that the shape was obviously there. So I got home and just the next few weeks practiced every weekend. I did a brick session simulating a 70.3 where the only focus with that period was to nail the nutrition part.
Right.
And so pretty quickly it got much better. At first I also had some problems, but we managed to dial it in, and then I traveled to the US again and participated in St. George, and that was a much better experience.
That was a great experience.
Yeah,
and being a big guy, people would think, okay, he's not going to be, because it's a hilly bike course. Yeah, and it's a hard run. And getting third there shows that it really doesn't matter what the course is.
Yeah, actually, I think it's a advantage for me with a very hilly and hard bike course, because often, at least in the 70.3 Ironman races, there are a lot of drafting going on with the 12-meter rule, not like the 20-meter rule we have here. It will be a completely different game.
Right.
And that was also what we saw in Miami. With 20 meters, you're really able to make a big difference.
You can race. It makes huge difference.
Yeah, exactly. So
well, and also, I bet it was nice for you because a lot of people, you're too big, and you get to race against Jan, who's a big guy, right? Like you are. And you're looking and going, okay, he's the best in the world. And we're very similar build-wise.
Yeah, I mean, it was just so awesome. Afterwards, I've been so angry at myself that I wasn't able to run well, because it was just what I've been thinking about in training all the time.
I'm sure.
Leaving T2
running side by side.
Yeah, but I couldn't follow even 1 meter. I mean, he was just gone. So I wish I had better legs on the run there.
That's awesome. Yeah, and for you're racing on Sunday, and then what will be the rest of your season?
Yeah, so I had hoped to get a captain's pick for the Collins Cup, because I think the format suits me very well.
Very well.
I always knew that it would be a very tough bet to get
especially on your team.
Especially on Team Europe. It's so stacked on the men's and women's field. So I'm racing Sunday.
Which is still, the Challenge Championship is
still
huge.
A big race, and there are some strong guys.
Have you done this one before?
No, never. I've only watched it on television, so I'm really looking forward to get out on the highway.
Now, how old are you?
23.
23 years old. Wow, you got the whole world in front of you, man. You're gonna be winning some huge races. That's for sure. When you look back at the races you've done so far, you're so young. What do you look back as the best race you've had?
It's probably, I mean, the one that means the most to me is probably Daytona, because I think I was 3 minutes behind after the swim, coming up.
Which is surprising,
40th or something out of the water. And that wasn't the plan at all. But I just committed to just going by my own race, and I managed to bridge the gap all up to the front guys, and that was like the moment where I really realized that I would be able to, I actually have something to offer here against the biggest guys. But obviously also St. George means a lot to me.
Yes.
Running side by side with Sam Long and Lionel Sanders and Daniel for a few kilometers there. That's the most epic thing I've ever done.
That was pretty cool.
It was the pictures there.
Those are the ones you've got on the wall.
I've always almost just hanging up
Lionel
on the wall.
Sanders, Sam Long, Daniel Bakkegaard, and me. Yeah. And then I was riding with Jan, and we were just going through for a little bike ride together, and then I went up and dropped Starkey, and
so
I love that. So you ended up 14th at Daytona. You had some
14th.
Issues there when you got off the bike.
Yeah, the problem was that when I jumped onto my bike after T1, I had a big bottle with all my nutrition on.
Gone.
That it blew out of the cage when I was speeding up. So I rode the entire bike course without any energy.
Oh my God.
And the only thing I was able to grab when going 50 kilometers per hour was some water, and I just tried to put it down. But when I then started running,
you had nothing.
It actually felt like I was running in third place at 4 kilometers, and I had just thought like maybe I can even go to the podium, because it felt so good. And then 100 meters later, everything in my legs just crammed up completely, so I wasn't even able to walk for a few minutes. But I got going again.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that. And do you see yourself down the line? Is this the 70.3 distance? Is that your distance, or do you see yourself going longer? What's your goal?
At the moment, and for the next few years, I think 70.3 will be my primary distance.
No rush.
No rush. Maybe I will try to do an Ironman. We haven't decided yet, but
couple years from now.
It's not. I think the 70.3 suits me very well at the moment, and I haven't been training. Like, I got into the sport quite late, so my running.
It's a work in progress. You're working on that.
Yeah, especially on a marathon and an Ironman, I will. Maybe.
I would stay. You know what's so nice in this day and age? You can focus on that 70.3. There's enough races. And there's enough money with the PTO support.
Exactly.
And the Collins Cup. This is some good stuff.
I'm in here for the long run, so I don't want to get injured or anything like that. So just build slowly upon, building up.
Don't ever change the way you race.
I won't.
You go off the front and make them chase you.
Yeah.
And if the worst comes to worst, you get a lot of camera time.
Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of camera time, but I would prefer getting the camera at the finish line.
Podium time.
But I'm working on that.
Well, that's how you do it. You can't do it from sitting back and trying to run your way through. You've got to do it by going off the front and announcing your presence with authority.
You have to, use your strength.
Absolutely. Always, and never be afraid.
No.
Never be afraid. Magnus, thank you so much. I always enjoy chatting with you. I love
thanks for having me.
I love the way you race, and have a great race on Sunday.
Thank you so much, and thanks for having me.
Magnus Ditlev has been our guest, everybody. Again, this is the Challenge Championship pre-race show, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.